Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm the Addicted Bookworm, and yes, I am working on a new intro to my channel. I think I think this is like my fourth attempt to do a new intro. Alright, I have found another book to add to my, I want to buy this book because it's just good. Um, so this is The Girl I Was by Jeneva Rose. This is her newest book, or actually it's more of like she republished the book because the first one that has it by her is the same like synopsis as this one. So we're going to say it's a reissue. So she republished it with a new cover and stuff. So this is about a woman called Lexia. Anyways, she's a 30-some-year-old woman who has a great boyfriend, a nice apartment, but she is a woman who, when she had the opportunity to become something that she could be proud of, she wasted it. All she did was party. She did not take her studies seriously. She, while everybody else did a little partying, but they also focused on their career. So when she was younger, like 18 years old, she did not think that the future was important. Now she's a 30-some-year-old woman that doesn't really have a career. And she basically is like, if I had, she really like regrets a lot of the stuff that she did. Her relationship with her mother, which we do find out is not what we originally thought. The fact that she stopped talking to her friends, that she really never made something of herself. And what ends up happening is fate takes charge, and she ends up going back to 2002. And this is this is before the Kardashians, Facebook, MySpace, all that type of stuff. And her job is to try to convince her younger self to not make the same mistakes that she made, so she doesn't end up becoming this very unhappy, barely can make ends meet kind of person. She knows the end result of making all the wrong choices. So I'm reading this book, and there's definitely this kind of push-pull. You got Alexa, who is a way more wiser than her younger self. And the weird thing about it is, nobody checks out to see if this 30-some-year-old woman actually belongs at the university. Also, when she first arrives in 2002, she kind of thinks that this is some kind of like prank or weird thing. And she also discovers that payphones are still around. So this is 2002. A lot of people did not have cell phones. So payphones were around, and they were 25 cents. There's a lot of band names, and like they have MapQuest, which it's great when you have an author that actually lived in 2002 that she can successfully do this. But thing is, as time progresses on, she starts having to confront things that she, you know, I cried. All right. I cried when I read the part that it, so she told her younger self that her and mother had fallen out. And she hasn't talked to her mother in years. We find out that's not true at all. Yes, most likely it's true that she had fallen out with her mother. But the part that made me cry, and I'm doing it now, is her mother died of a heart attack like several months later. She could tell her mother that her heart is a ticking time bomb, but she doesn't. Sorry, I'm just... It hit me hard because my mother's heart was the same way. Her heart was a ticking time bomb too. And I really felt that. It felt very hard. And to know that it could take your loved one away in an instant. Very... Sorry. That's just part of that book really got to me. And then, of course, her seeing her dog that she lost years later. Time travel is when the weird thing is when you do go back in time and you see all the people that you lost. It hurts because you know they're going to be going away. They're never coming. You're never going. You're never going to see them ever again. And I laid there and I cried because her mother knew that this grown woman was her daughter. She said, "A mom knows." And that just made me cry. That section was so emotional for me because I lost my mother and I know the pain of losing someone that you care about to something that could have been totally preventable. And it hurts. And after 5 years, nearly going on 5.5 years, it still hurts. Actually, it's been 5.5 years. But what she discovers along the way is that her very presence is changing things. That's why time travel is something that is not possible because your presence alone has the ability to change so much. And it does. And it takes one event to totally change the trajectory of it. And what ends up happening is she discovers that she had a very profound effect on her younger self's life, and now she's in a um, she's definitely a lot better financially. She still has Andrew, so that didn't change, but it takes a little bit for her brain to form those new memories, um, and everything. Anyways, The Girl I Was by Jeneva Rose got me in the feels, and I'm still there. This is actually one of my, as of right now, one of my favorite Jeneva Rose books. I do plan on to buy it as a physical edition and just include it in with the other books that she wrote. It's not a thriller or a horror book, but I just want to put it in with all her other books. So I gave it 5 stars on Goodreads and everything, and yeah, I was not ready for that revelation that her mother died because her heart gave out. So, yeah, I cried. I cried a lot. And I'm doing that here. Anyways, I hope that you enjoyed the video. And I just want to end on this note that really good writing can produce authentic emotions in readers. And yeah, it can. So, yeah, if I ever meet her, I'm gonna say, girl, you got me in the feels. Authentically got me in the feels. And yeah, that's the power of good story writing. So this book is listed as a nominee for Goodreads. I'm definitely voting for it because this is by far the best book of 2025, especially the emotional roller coaster that you go through. So I will see you guys later on. I'm going to be listening to the second chapter of Strange Pictures. Hopefully, hopefully I won't cry. I probably won't because it's a horror book. So anyways, I'll see you around. Bye.